Hello, and welcome to another episode of My Life in Objects. So this particular object is, I suppose, a placeholder for two other objects that I no longer have, but I just wanted to talk about. And as I'm talking about them, I'm going to flip through this deck. So this is a relatively modern Top Trumps Dinosaurs deck. Surprise, surprise, it's full of dinosaurs. So we've got a couple of cards in here. How to play Top Trumps if you're not familiar with it. Gives a breakdown of what the cards mean. So you can see here for each of the dinosaurs we've got a height, a weight, a length, a killer rating, an intelligence, an age, and then this line here, which is the meter, measures what the dinosaurs like to eat. So why is this a placeholder? Well, I grew up in the 70s, 60s into the 70s, and like a lot of people, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. But also, back in the 70s, Top Trumps became a real thing. Much the same way, I suppose, collectible card games are a thing now, certain types of collectible cards. Back then, the Top Trumps decks were quite an obsession for a lot of people, and they were fairly easy to pick up at the time. Sadly, I don't have access to the ones that I remember. I think actually most of the decks that I played belonged to friends, although my brothers did have a couple of decks. They're younger than me, and I just don't know what happened to them, unfortunately. But the classic ones I remember at the time were things like tanks and motorbikes, and there was a drag racing type deck. And I just remember many a happy hour spent playing Top Trumps with my brothers, with other kids at school. And I'm trying to think actually when I really became aware of them for the first time. I wonder if it was in the mid to late 70s maybe. Yeah, maybe, 78, around that time. And the other thing I no longer have, which was part of my obsession with dinosaurs, so part of this is how much I enjoyed Top Trumps, but also how much I enjoyed reading about dinosaurs, was I had this dinosaur book, and I'm sure we've all had it. Early on we had a particular book, maybe when we were first starting to read, that we just either read over and over and over again, or got our parents to read us. Like I said, sadly I no longer have that book. I'm not sure when it went missing. But it's fun to just flip through and revisit old friends. I do have quite a nice book, a more modern one, which is a book on prehistory, which covers a whole load of prehistoric creatures and plants and other things. But it's rather large. It's a coffee table size book, so those ones are always quite challenging to get on camera, so that's why I didn't flip through that, otherwise I would have done. This is a weird card. Doesn't look much like a dinosaur, but this is an image that shows how Stenocosaurus might have evolved into a dino-man had the species not become extinct. Before they were wiped out, these dinosaurs were very intelligent with large brains and were close in appearance to velociraptors. I also do have a copy somewhere in the house of Walking with Dinosaurs. Actually, the other thing, I don't know if I've mentioned with it, the other thing that really obsessed me, and I actually ended up doing a short course on oceanography as a consequence, was like deep sea creatures, because some of those are just so strange. And as part of my short course with the Open University on oceanography, we did a whole unit on deep sea fish, deep sea creatures. And I can remember spending, I was doing the course while I was actually moving over to Canada, or in the process of coming over. And at one point I spent 6 weeks in Canada. I did go home again to the UK, or home at the time in the UK, before I finally came over permanently about 6 months later. And I remember doing the course and just watching over and over again the supplied DVD we had, which was an episode from, I think, The Blue Planet. And actually that's made me think, go and watch that. But yeah, I like deep sea creatures because they just look so strange and have such unusual features. And so many of them, I suppose, we're still discovering as well. So there we have it. That's my placeholder, if you like, for dinosaurs, but also to some degree deep sea creatures as well. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I'll catch you in a future episode.